welcome to what I'm very sorry to say, and very sad to say, is the last of our San Marino conversations. 3 interviews we've been having this week while I've been here in this beautiful European nation, this microstate nestled in the heart of Italy. And for our last conversation, I'm very happy to welcome Alessandro Capicchioni. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Because I usually get it wrong.
Yes.
Now, Alessandro is the head of delegation for the Eurovision Song Contest for San Marino. Now, I've been very honoured to be invited to be here this week because I have a very small part in the show tomorrow night. But sadly, San Marino will not be participating in the grand final this year. This must be very disappointing for you after all your hard work.
Yeah, but we're used to it. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. We just passed 3 times in our Eurovision history, which is not very long, but still it's 14 years long. So, and we are the microstate taking part, the smallest country, and the country without friends, without neighbors. So it's very hard for us to be in the final. We know it, we go and we're prepared to it, we're prepared to everything, and we're prepared to joy when it happens.
And you will still, though, come back next year. You aren't disappointed and think, oh, what's the point of this? There is a real reason for San Marino to participate on this great international stage.
Well, of course, that is a great opportunity for us to be very international. We are a landlocked country. Italy is surrounding us. We share the same culture with Italy, so we are often confused with Italians. And that's a great opportunity for us to stand out as an independent country, as an independent television. And we have the full liberty, freedom to decide how to take part with an internal selection, with an international selection. So it's up to us. It's a huge opportunity. So once we confound our choices, then we're happy.
Now, our audience in Humboldt County and in the city of Eureka, and also we cover Del Norte County as well, I know they really got behind San Marino in this year's contest because we had this rest of the world vote this year. But the EBU who organised the contest, they do seem to be making a big effort to push the contest in the US. But I'm not seeing that it's getting any traction. Why do you think the US really could never understand what Eurovision is all about?
Well, yes, I have never really thought about this, but probably the United States have a different music culture and a different approach to music in television. This could be the reason. The Eurovision Song Contest is something very particular that is born in Europe and has grown up since like 56, I think, so it's many years, and it is particular and it's unique. I don't know any television that does national programs as Eurovision. Eurovision exists only a union of television, or European televisions. So that might be the reason. I mean, Eurovision is so particular, so unique, that it's difficult to export its format outside Europe.
Now, there was an attempt last year. The American Song Contest was launched on NBC, and by all accounts, I don't know if this is accurate, it was a disaster, was the word that was used. Apparently, it was the most unsuccessful entertainment format NBC have ever used, which is very worrying. And I wonder why. I felt that you have this conflict in Europe. So it's a competition, you know, the Dutch and the Italians and the British and the Spanish.
Exactly.
But interstate, I don't feel you have that between New Yorkers and Californians. And
I see 2 levels. The first level is how many states compose the United States?
Well, there's 50 states, but they also had territories like Samoa and Puerto Rico, so there was something like 58.
So at the first level, you have the competition among the states. So 50 states potentially fight against each other to have one single performer winning the internal selection, the national selection, which is already international because we're talking about 50 different realities. And then this performer, after such a long way, has to go to Europe and fight against 37, 38, 40 more nations. It's a long way. First. Second, the music that is played on Eurovision is not often recognized by the market.
That's very true.
Apart from Rosalind last year, from Armenia with the song Snap, which exploded over the platforms, but I don't remember lots of success.
Well, it's interesting because there
So
were
the
a number of
Americans-
songs that have been hits in the US, Eurovision
sorry?
songs. There have been a number of Eurovision songs that have been big hits in the US.
That helping?
There have been very big hits in the US.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but Snap being the most recent.
Yeah.
That was a massive hit last year.
Yeah, but there could be a problem because American music industry is leading the world, basically. And you have the highest number of stars, probably. And will these stars take part in that selection to compete with a strange music done by half unknown European countries like San Marino or like Azerbaijan?
Well, that almost happened in the American Song Contest because they did have Michael Bolton and they did have Macy Gray, two huge international stars. Macy Gray got knocked out in the first stage and the contest was won by this very young Korean girl from Oklahoma. So it was all a bit strange. But many American artists have actually taken part in Eurovision Song Contest.
This is true.
And probably the most famous of all was Flo Rida, the rapper.
Yes,
And
I remember him.
which country did he represent?
It was us.
It was San Marino. This is incredible. How did Flo Rida get to be representing San Marino in Eurovision?
Yeah, I told you, we have the freedom to choose how to take part. That's amazing. Well, it's been, I can't remember really precisely the details, but it's been that he was, thinking, what is it? And we got in touch with him and we proposed him and he said, yes, why not? And there was first there was the song, he adapted the song, he wrote part of the song, and then he came to Rotterdam and he sat with us in the green room after performance. It was amazing, yes.
It was incredible. It brought the whole show alive, I thought, because it was the last performed song.
Yes.
There was Sunit, who's an amazing artist, doing her thing, and then suddenly exploding onto the stage was
Yes.
Flo Rida.
Exactly.
And I actually said, I think they're going to win. In the end, I don't think
You
did
see?
very well, but I was
You
very
see?
wrong.
Yeah.
But
You
you've had
never
other
know.
Americans. There was a Chicago guy, Jimmy, I've forgotten his name, sorry. He represented San Marino as well, but he sang with a San Marino singer.
Yeah, but
Jimmy Wilson.
Yes, he was living in Germany.
Yeah.
He moved to Germany some years ago, so he spoke perfectly German, and there he met the producer. He was with us that year. But yes, he was American, was perfect American, definitely, yes.
Well, I'm disappointed you didn't make the final this year, but of course we will be watching tomorrow and we will enjoy it. I think many people in Humboldt County will be watching this show this year as well, if only just to see me, because I have the most important part in the show.
You're more than welcome to say they vote for San Marino. It's an honor for us.
No, it's an honor for me and I really appreciate it. Alessandro, it's been an absolute delight. I do want to thank your colleagues at RTV for inviting us into this beautiful studio, all the cameramen here as well. This has been amazing. Thank you for hosting us for a Humboldt conversation.
It's a pleasure.
For a San Marino conversation, and thank you for joining us, and join us again. I'll be back in the US on Monday and I look forward to